there are people who generally have a hard time, but I feel that the what a guy needs to bring to the table, and people are going to yell at me about this, but I seriously don't care because I do feel this is probably one of the biggest problems in shidduchim today is the criteria that women have for guys. And what I want to say about this is now before I get into it, I want to say that anyone has the right to be as picky as you want. If you want a guy who's over 6 feet tall, makes $250,000 a year, has a full head of hair, you are more than, by all means, go for it. I just want to bring down to the reality of it, where the pickier a girl is, it makes it a lot harder for them to date than a guy is. So, for example, if a guy, let's say, I don't know, he's 5'9", and what's the average height even of a Jewish guy? 5'8", 5'9". Let's say they're
Probably
5'9".
5'8", yeah.
So let's say they're very picky, so they're going to want a girl who's shorter than him. So not even just necessarily shorter, but I looked this up on Perplexity or ChatGPT. How many women out there are between the height of 5'3" and 5'7", like, which is really specific. About 44 to 55% of women out there fit that bill.
Wow.
Okay? Now with women, and I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. You hear a lot of women say, I will not date a guy there are filters on dating apps that saying they start by 6 feet. They will not go out with anyone who's less than 6 feet tall. There are about 13% of all men who are 6 feet tall. So right from the get-go, you're eliminating majority of men. Okay.
Why? What's the percentage of men that are 6 feet tall?
Right. So 6 feet tall and more is about 13%.
Oh.
Okay. And those are all men. That doesn't account for single men.
Oh, wow.
So now that goes down even more. And I'm not even getting it's not so crazy. We're just talking about height. Okay. We're just talking about height. Now, someone, and I went through the 3 core items: not bald and makes $100,000 a year or more. It was like less than 2% of the population.
Wow.
Whatever it is. My point is that you hear this all the time. There are no good men out there. All the freaking time. So my point is, you can be as picky as you want. I just want them to understand that every time you put in a quote unquote filter, that's a deal breaker, an absolute deal breaker. You are making it harder on yourself. And just realize the actual number of people out there who actually fit that bill. And I feel like if 100% of women are going after that type of guy, that essentially out of 100, there's 2 guys that fit that bill, it's a problem. And the perception is that no good guys are out there. And I feel like it's exactly why I love what Devorah Kegel is doing, because she kind of brings to fruition that maybe your deal breakers are not essentially what you should be looking for, or you actually want. It's just what you tell yourself you want. Yes, I would like a guy with a 6-pack who's filthy rich and gorgeous. Congratulations. Are you good enough for that guy? Can you attract that guy, et cetera, et cetera? If you can, great. But in the reality of things, how many men are actually like that? And you have to just work backwards. Because like, if you actually look from a guy's perspective, like how many, like with a woman, there's like 50 different criteria of what they're looking for. With a guy, it's really simple. If they find them attractive, you're already 80% of the way there. And then they might, something maybe about age, maybe the age thing you can get them on. Like how many real things are out there? So the pool of women are going to be bigger for men because generally speaking, men don't put as much criteria for a woman, if that makes sense.